Hello farmers and welcome back to Pichonniere Valley on Farming Simulator 25. A good Monday to one and all. Hopefully everyone had a nice weekend so far. We are riding with Franco in the Mercedes. He is finishing up that plowing contract that we were doing at the end of the last stream on Friday, I think it was. But he's about 88% done. We were also doing a mowing contract. That contract has since been completed. And I've actually done another mowing contract just a few minutes ago on the way back to the farm. So we got two contracts to collect on, and that's going to be very helpful because we're starting off today with buying ourselves another field. So let's go ahead and get that done before the NPC farmer somehow manages to harvest it in the meantime. Let me just, I checked about 5 minutes ago. Is it still here? Yeah, the crop is still here. Good, good, good. So let's go into contracts, and we're going to go to where we got these here. Field 42, that was one we were doing at the end of the last stream. 10,468, let's collect on that. And this mowing contract, I did this a few minutes ago for 3,665. We're going to collect on that. And that should allow us enough money, because this is costing us $74,328. I got $82,000. Let's go ahead and buy that right now. There we go. There we go. Lovely. We got ourselves another sorghum field. So now we got that bought, we can harvest at our leisure. I think we can harvest it. We will harvest it this month, but I think we could harvest it next month if we wanted to. And let's see, sorghum's right here somewhere. Oh no, I gotta harvest it this month. Never mind. It's gotta be harvested this month either way. So there we go. Hello Panther, how you doing? We got Bob and Bob the Goat. Can you join? This is not a multiplayer server. So the answer to that would be no. Because it's not a, we're not a multiplayer server here. So the first thing we're going to be doing today while Franco finishes up that plowing contract is we're going to come over here and harvest this field. So let's grab our combine. And we'll go over and harvest that sorghum, which is going to be nice because I need the sorghum for the chickens. Add more feed into the silo for them. So the field is just around the corner here. Oh, yeah, I was also thinking last night when I was walking around the house that I think what we might be doing in the long run, I know I said I was going to keep this fence up, but I think I'm going to take this barbed wire fence down. And probably at some point, I don't know how I'm going to do it just yet, but we'll take the fence down and we'll also start removing some of these trees as well. Because what I want to do is I want to tie in this upper farmyard to the grass field, because we did kind of discuss about putting the cow barn down here, right in this general area of the grass field, so ease of access through here would be good. And then I think the mayonnaise production is going to go like right up in here at some point. So taking down this fence will allow us to expand the farmyard over into that area if we want to. I think that's going to be kind of the plan, but that's going to be kind of like more in the long run. Alright, let's get to the harvest. Soil sampling is not going to matter as of yet, because the field condition is what the field condition is. Not a whole lot I can do with it. Let's see the header on this side. I'm going to block this entryway to wherever it goes. Let's drop that off there. Grab our header. And let's get to work. Sorghum going on in. So I had no soil data for it. So I don't know exactly how well the yield's going. But we can see in the upper left-hand corner by the combine that we're getting 63% yield in this part of the field. My guess is once I do the soil sampling, I'm going to find out this field was in bad condition. Actually, we can kind of see as we go along here, if I go to this page, oh wow, already the score has dropped down to 35%. Right now it's showing no nitrogen, maybe a little bit of lime, and everything else is kind of terrible. But we're going to have to turn this field around. Also, we do have some row crops in here. Tram lines. We got to get rid of those. Now, I got two cultivators. The biggest cultivator is a shallow cultivator. So I don't think that's going to get rid of the tram lines. The other cultivator, I'm not sure if it will or will not get rid of the tram lines or not. If all else fails, well, we got the plow, but I'd rather not use a plow because a plow will definitely kick up stones. So I may try the 3-meter wide cultivator after we get done with the harvest, but yeah, we got to flip this field around. Actually, I think I want to plant the winter barley. Is this the last month I can plant winter barley? I can plant it next month if I want to. But yeah, getting another field on the farm feels good already. I was kind of nervous when I was logging in about 20 minutes ago. I was thinking, I hope the NPC farmer does not harvest this field before we get a chance to buy it. But I logged in about 20 minutes ago just to make sure I got done with the first mowing contract, because I needed that contract to be able to buy the field. But now I feel rather comfortable with our chickens. Now, I think we're going to be fine on the amount of feed that we got. Of course, still need a whole lot more. But we got plenty for the amount of chickens that we currently have. So to get rid of all those trees in between our grass field and the current farmyard, there's a couple ways I can approach it. I already got the chainsaw, so I could start cutting down trees. And then we'll have to find a way to get the trees loaded into the back of a trailer. Cutting into small pieces, because I can't use super strength, we can't use auto loaders. So I can cut it into small pieces and just put them in the back of a trailer and go deliver them to the sawmill. Or maybe I could buy the tree devourer and just turn them into wood chips. And we'll sell the wood chips. Actually, I'm trying to think now. Do I have the tree devourer mod installed? That is going to be under forestry somewhere. Once I find where the forestry is. And what is that going to be under? Is that going to be under wood chippers? Nope. Is that going to be under miscellaneous? Nope. It's not a mulcher. It's considered a mulcher. So let's see. That would be 25,000 for it. I don't care about the capacity. If I write no capacity, I'm trying to remember about this now. Do I really need to shoot? I think I do if I want to get the wood chips. What's real or unreal? What does that do? Other than add $100,000 to it. I don't remember. Let me go up here and just, yep, you're finished. Make sure the worker is gone. And let's go ahead and collect on that contract. So another $10,000 in the bank account. While we got this up here, is there another plowing job around? Actually, there's another plowing contract just right across from our own farm. We will accept that contract. And actually, let's go put this right to work. Yeah, I mean, I could just delete the trees, but That's money. The trees are money, and I'm not like in a big rush. Oh yeah, I put the time scale down to 0.5 because I didn't want time going by too quick before the stream, because I didn't want NPC workers to harvest that field. But this is getting a little bit low on the fuel, but we can refuel it when we get back to the farmyard at the hut. Of course, in October, we'll have our grass fields to cut. And that should bring us in $40,000 in November when we sell them as silage bales. Is that Sam laying down in the field I gotta plow? It's almost like he knows. Yep, Sam's taking a nap in the field I gotta plow. Alright, yes, we're gonna get ourselves a worker because I gotta get back to that harvesting job that we have. And what do we got here? 6 meter, 4 headlands. Probably a little bit too much, but you know what? You'll be fine. Be all good. Alright, let me get back into the combine. Let's get back to work. Hello, Branding. Welcome. Hope you had a nice weekend. Oh, yeah, I guess I'm going to have to use the 3650 John Deere for hauling the grain cart around for now. Looks like we're getting, actually, the yield's not that bad, considering the field's not in really great shape. It's got weeds. It does not look like it's been fertilized. Looks like the pH value is kind of terrible. Why is the top closed? Top of what? The combine? The combine's not closed. It's open. So after we get done with the harvest, we'll come in here with the soil sampler. Then we'll try to use a cultivator to... I think it's got... I don't know if it's got to be a deep cultivator only, or can a regular cultivator do it? I know a shallow cultivator won't be enough. But I just need to get rid of the tram lines. Most of the small combines like this, that's the way they open up. It's not like it's a fully open combine like you on the big ones, where you see a big opening. So it can be hard to see or tell if it's open or closed. Yeah, I do need to get a vote going today. Not like I'm going to be getting there during the stream, but a good vote for today is going to be about the oil mill. So, yeah, I'll get the vote going here very soon, but start thinking about it. So for the oil mill on the map, if I buy that one, I think it's $300,000 for that oil mill. So the vote would be buy the oil mill on the map for $300,000, or put down the same mill that we had on Kingley. That mill I think cost $50,000, and I'll be able to do oil and also sugar in that one. Which way on down the line, if I get around to doing wine, whoops, combine's full, wasn't paying attention. Yeah, we can make sugar in it, but that is something we'll need to put a vote on here later on. 3650. Let's drop off. Nope, don't drop that off right there. That's right in front of your grain trailer. Should be able to haul it at least there. I don't know if he'll be able to bring it on back. Watched 3 movies yesterday, Day After Tomorrow, Deep Impact, and Volcano. Are you just waiting for the end of the world or something? Yes, I have done stuff from the Cooper before. Silver Run Forest is definitely a map. You need to use the Cooper. I don't think the oil mill on the map does anything than what a normal oil mill would do. I gotta find it now. I think it's this one right here. Well, it does do mustard. It does mustard. We can do grape juice and raisins. Grape juice in a barrel. I wonder if grape juice in a barrel is better than grape juice. But of course, if I do grape juice in a barrel, that means I would have to get the Cooper. I mean, I could, I'm not sure if we're going to end up doing the wine, but I guess grape juice in a barrel could kind of be considered wine in a way. I kind of forgot about it will do all the grape juice and it will do the mustard. Because that would be kind of interesting. What does old style mustard palette? Old style mustard palette. I mean, that's... I don't know if that's a great price or not, but $1,600 for that. I don't know. Maybe I'm kind of leaning towards buying the oil mill now on the map. Because I kind of forgot about, you know, we will harvest some mustard and do something with that. So that'd be kind of interesting. I got a little more thinking to do about that then. Glad I caught this field at the end of last stream, because I was saving up for the other two fields, which cost $160. But to be able to buy this field with a crop in it is nice. And for the size farm that we're going to be running, this is actually a decent sized field for us. And the good thing is, after buying this field, I'm also not broke right now either. We do have $17,000. And when that contract is done, I'll push this up to 20. And as I said, the silage bales we'll have in a couple months, that'll push us up to at least 60. But we should have more than that by the time I do more contracts. So does anyone know about the tram lines in precision farming with a cultivator? Can I do it with just, if it just says cultivator, will that take care of it? Get rid of the tram lines? I don't think a shallow cultivator will do it. And that's what our big cultivator is, but our 3 meter wide cultivator is just listed as a cultivator, not a shallow or deep one. Previously, I take care of it with the plow, but with stones turned on for this series, that's definitely going to kick up some stones. Since we're not far from the farm, I think I will try the 3 meter wide cultivator and see if that gets rid of the tram lines. But I am going to guess it will not. That field just across the road, I wonder if that field is a good yielding field. It's a small one. I should have the mini map up for yield, but again, looks like this field had no fertilizer in it. Not well kept on the lime either. It's got weeds in it. But again, just consider this free crop. It's kind of like a bonus. Buy the field and you get a little free crop out of it. This holds 8,000, this combine, so that means we got, well, so far we got about 12,000 liters of sorghum. There are some modded combines out there that where you can open up the service area and you can see all the pulleys and belts. Oh yeah, I did want to address a little bit about the game Sky Harvest. So you know, if you have been following along with it, and I did say I was going to release an episode on Saturday, which I did not, because currently I'm pretty much stuck in the game, with not being able to do anything. I went to the discussion forum on the Steam page, and I guess I've gotten kind of lucky. A lot of people, the bugs are complaining about, I haven't run into. But I'm at the point now of I am unable to do anything. I don't have any more resources I could harvest to make iron ingots or anything like that. There's some things for the next quest I need to make, but it's locked because it says I need to do more of the main quest line to unlock those things, and nothing's popping up. I was recording an episode, and as far as I got was I completed the handing in the unique fish. That didn't pop up any new main quest. And I did buy the map for 10,000 gold, but I can't find a way to activate it or use it or do anything with it. So yeah, and I spent maybe about an hour and a half, 2 hours going around talking to people, trying to figure out, you know, is there a way to activate this map, or are they going to tell me something? So I pretty much can't do anything in the game until it gets like an update, or maybe I gotta start a new save file or something. I have no idea. So Sky Harvest is currently on the back burner until I can figure out something, or there's an update that fixes the current state that I'm in the game. But reading all the bugs that other people are having, it's not that someone says, oh, this is a bug I'm having, and they're the only ones having it. I see comments of people saying, yep, got the same problem, got the same problem. I didn't run into those problems. I'm already past that point. So, yeah, I don't know. Alright, park the combine here. Since we are here, let's go grab the 710. And we're going to grab the soil sampler. Yeah, I was going to say, just grab the soil sampler. I was going to say, put the soil sampler on the front and we'll put the spreader on the back for lime, but guess what? I don't have a 3-point link on the front. Look out, little chicks. Sam is still just laying in that field over there. So after spending now, I think I got, we actually have 2 save files. We had the original save file, which we were on here before the map got updated. I think I had about 25 hours on that save file. And currently we're over 20 hours in this. So I got over 40 hours on this map, and I'm enjoying the map immensely. Well-designed map, a lot of detail. And I think it fits perfectly for what we are role-playing here. Yeah, I'm having a great time on this map. I can see us being here for maybe a couple of 100 hours doing stuff. Alright, soil sample there. Oh yeah, I was going to check to see what that field over there is all about. Because that wouldn't be a bad addition to the farm. Can I get this all in one more sample? Yeah, we should be able to. Send them to the lab, please. While it's doing that, let's have a look at the map and see what that field across the way looks like. 101%, so I mean, it's above 100. Alright, so now we got that score value up to 42. pH is pretty much in the red. Nitrogen, of course, we just harvested the field, so... But yeah, this field's in not great shape. Of course, we have no way to take care of weeds yet. But everything else, when we get to the next harvest, should be 100%. Alright, let's drop off the soil sampler. We'll grab the 3-meter wide cultivator. And hopefully they'll get rid of the tram lines. Actually, I think I may have a couple of fields. Of course, now I'm getting kind of confused with Shamburgo. But I think we'll have a couple of fields that need to be soil sampled next month. At least we get to use the 710, which I haven't used as much recently. Of course, as the fields get bigger, we get bigger implements. 710 gets less used, basically. Alright, moment of truth is a regular cultivator. Going to get rid of the tram lines. I think so? Only way I'll be able to really tell is when I come back in here with the direct drill. If it doesn't drill where the tram lines are, then we'll have to plow it up. But I think it's getting rid of the tram lines. Oh, another way I think I'll be able to tell is when I put down lime, if lime does not go where these tire marks were, then yeah, it's not technically a field in that area. I think that's working. All right, just going to leave this here for a moment. Let's bring back the grain. Okay, in the 3650. So, almost 13,000 liters of sorghum. So now, not only is the chicken's feed trough full, I think we have about 24,000 liters of grain for them to feed on for another year. And no, I'm not going to buy any more chickens. We're just going to let those chickens slowly reproduce and fill up that pen. Again, adult chickens every 2 months reproduce, so it's not going to take them long once we really get going on them to fill up this chicken pen. Watch out for all the chickens. And let's just grab you, make sure the worker's not in there charging me. Sometimes course play, when it finishes the course, the worker will stay inside the vehicle and keep charging you. So I try to get there and make sure that we're not getting charged too much. I wonder if Sam's feeling all right today. Sam is not really moving away from that starting spot that he's been in. Gonna leave this here because I may need it. Look at the main map. It'll tell you the tram lines are there. Will it? It's going to be kind of hard to tell because I'm cultivating the field. It says cultivated, but also got seed bed. Stones, water, don't need to know that. I mean, I know you can tell when there's a crop planted. We can see all the tram lines, but since I'm getting rid of the crop that was there, which was sorghum, and just cultivating it, I think it's working. Let's jump back into that 710 and finish up that work, but I'll really know for sure if it accepts the lime. We're going to come right back in here and plant winter wheat. We got winter wheat in one field. Going to put it in both fields, I think. Or do I want to put winter wheat in here just to give us a different crop? So the good thing is this is not kicking up stones. Which are plow wood. Oh, yeah, I got to collect on that contract too. Don't want to forget that. And then, oh, you got this little strip right here. There's not one on the other side of that one. That's interesting. Okay, we'll really know for sure. I'm going to bring the 3650 back with the spreader full of lime. If it doesn't cover the area where these tracks were, then I know that didn't quite work. Kind of forgot. What is this? Is this a production or anything like over here? Or is this just a house? It's a sell point? Is that a production or what is that? Oh, that's the grain mill, which I don't think we're gonna need on this series. Yep, you are done unloading there. Yeah, I don't intend to use any grain to make flour. Just to see, did I fertilize my grass fields? I did, and actually they might need some lime as well. Let's go ahead and unload the fertilizer. Yeah, I should be looking... Oh yeah, one, collect on that plowing contract for... Oh, it was 4,672. Alright, that's good. The Bredal spreader, how much is that? Mowers... Spreaders... that one's 45. And for the size fields we got, that will hold how much? 14,000 liters. But that would cost almost 50 grand. Alright. But the base, wait, the base one is only 25,000. Oh, 45,000. Sorry. Okay. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to make a couple trips here. And, yep, the line is going over where the tram lines were. So that means the field should be all set with no tram lines. We can see how fast my lime's going down. Again, though, this only holds 1,200 liters of lime. So it's going to be about, I think, maybe, including this one, 3 trips back to the farm to top off with some lime. Well, I think you have to... I don't think the other cultivator I have, which is a shallow cultivator, I don't think that would put it back into a field. Help menu. Base game, precision farming, tram lines... You can generate tram lines, yada yada. The seeder's automatically generating the tram lines as sprayer, working with so on. Just click on the field, tram lines button below. I forgot where I read how to get rid of the tram lines. But I am remembering it saying something to the fact of you gotta use, a shallow cultivator won't work. I forgot where I read that. I might be totally wrong on that, but that's what I'm remembering right now, where a shallow cultivator will not get rid of tram lines. Where was the first map I used that on? When I had to get rid of tram lines. It took me a while to remember or figure out how to get rid of them. I may have actually done that on what was the name of that map? The other French map I was on. I think I was testing it out there, how to get rid of the tram lines. Okay, I did say 3 trips, but it might be 3 more trips now. Oh, that's right, Pichonniere. Hello, Farmer G. Couldn't remember the name of the map. I knew it began with a P, but every time I started thinking about P, I just keep on thinking of Pichonniere Valley, which is the one we're on. I think Sam's broken. Sam's just going to do circles in that one spot today. Now, I'm sure when I sleep through the night, if he is stuck, he'll move on. It's great having worker bees for times like this. Man, this field is way down on the lime. I'm feeling much better about our chicken situation. I think we're going to be okay for the amount of feed that we now have stored. But we do have to keep on top of it. Because right now we only got like 30 chickens and that can hold 400? Why does lime run out faster than fertilizer? It's kind of situational. I mean, the reason why we're going through a lot of lime here is this field has not had lime in a long time. So it's going to take a lot of lime to get the pH value where it should be. Not the quantity, but the speed off lane. Can I get this field done with this, as much as I got left? I got a funny feeling we'll be just shy of getting it done. Now, I have to go back. Get one more load. At least next time I go to spray this field in a couple of years, It won't take as much as it is now. The farmer that owned that field did not take good care of it at all. Yeah, so maybe, I'm not sure if we've seen one on for sale, but if a Breedle spreader comes up for sale, I'm going to have to grab it if I got the cash for it. Also, a weed sprayer would be good to find on sale. Actually, anything at this point on sale would be good. If it's something we need. Let me rephrase that. That's not anything on sale. Just not going to buy something because it's on sale, but it's got to be something that we need. Not going to have that much left. And we'll just see if it needs it anywhere else here. Because again, the further away from the spreader it gets, the less accurate it is. Looks like we're pretty good. Alright, so that's looking good. I'll just stop by one of our grass fields on the way back and... Oop, never mind. It needed some right there and it took it. Alright, let's get both John Deeres back to the farm. Then we're going to grab the Mercedes. And I think I'm actually going to plant winter wheat. If this is a month I can plant winter wheat. Gonna put the fertilizer back into here. All right, in the 710, let's bring that back. The fence around a grass field, and edit when I'm ready to work in that field anytime. Yeah, just hit me that if I want to put the cow barn in that field, grass field, I want to put the mayonnaise production up there. I think getting rid of that fence and be able to go between those buildings would be good. Mercedes. Oh, wait. Before I grab that, let me just see if I can plant winter wheat this month. Oh, we can. So we got winter barley, so let's go ahead and plant some winter wheat. Now we'll know for sure if we got rid of the tram lines. Let's see, where is it? Did I put my drill away? Yes, I did. So winter barley, winter wheat. Alright, so we got 3 things to fill up. No, it sounds kind of weird, but I'm going to put some diesel in here. At some point, we'll get a fuel tanker on the farm instead of doing it this way, because it does seem a little bit odd to do it that way. Since Bob asked, we're going to go ahead and get rid of this fence right now. Yoink. Fence be gone. So yeah, I'm not going to get rid of all the trees in here. Obviously, I can't pass through here with a tractor. I'm probably going to leave the trees up until we actually place down some of the buildings, which is going to be a while. It's not going to be today. But again, the cattle barn's going to fit in here. I do believe the mayonnaise production is going to go up in this part of the field here, so we'll get, we're going to keep some of the trees here, but we'll get rid of a couple so I can get tractors and implements through. Just little passageways. But that'll also allow me to get into that corner of the grass field down there a little bit more. Alright, so some lovely winter wheat going in. I just feel a little bit better having 2 fields of cereal crop now. And of course, next year, the yield in this field will be a lot better than it was this year. But that was like free crop. We bought the field as is, and of course, as we know, in Farming Simulator, a field's value does not change no matter what state it's in. So by having, the field is going to be the same price as it is now as it was before I bought it, with a crop in it. I think I'm kind of stuck there. I'm trying to turn around in a bad spot here. Alright, let's get that corner at another time. Taking a lot of fertilizer, but it's wheat. Again, if I want to be very efficient, I should be planting barley for the chickens, but I want to mix it up just a little bit. Be interesting to see if I get a whole bunch of weeds in this field or not. I got a little bit more room to maneuver around in this corner now, so helps if you put down the drill. Didn't get a chance to try out over the weekend. I was going to go on my test map to see. I'm going to guess this Mercedes will not be able to handle the Horse Pronto 6-meter wide too well, the direct drill. I'm probably going to need the Fendt tractor, which is, I can get right up to 200 horsepower. It's probably what I'm going to need. So even though we put down the lime and we're putting it full of fertilizer, those stats in this field will not be registered until we harvest next year. So that's going to hurt us a little bit on the environmental score bonus, but we're still getting a positive bonus. That's all that matters. Hello, Crystal. Welcome. Hope you had a lovely weekend. Can we pick a gear in this tractor or not? So that field across the road, that could be a nice field to have too. Again, I kind of want to stay with smaller fields because the combine that we currently have is at the top specs of our limits of what we are restricting ourselves on this map. So if I get, you could say, well, there's bigger fields here with better yield. Problem is, my combine and the header, we really can't upgrade that much to what we currently have unless we change the rules. So getting big fields is just take us forever to harvest. That is one rule we may bend in the long run, is how big of a combine we can get. The tractors, we will keep ourselves to 200 horsepower or under. But really, for what I'm trying to do on this map, we got enough grass fields for our dairy cattle when we get them. And I probably need maybe just about 4 more fields of this size-ish with the 2 that we already have. And that'll be enough for feed for the chickens. And also be enough to put down a canola field or sunflower field to make oil to help us make mayo. Had a cold weekend and you're still getting the snow and sleet. Yeah, getting that up here as we speak. It's warmed up where I am a little bit today. We actually hit double digits. It is currently 12 degrees outside. So a little bit warmer than yesterday. And I don't think we're going to get as much snow as they were forecasting. But I think currently, so far, we got about 1 foot of snow on the ground from this current storm, with an additional 5 to 10 inches by tomorrow morning, I guess. Currently, the restriction's always been nothing over 200 horsepower on tractors and nothing over 250 on combines. I mean, I'm perfectly fine with the combine we got now. But as we get further on, we get more fields. And if it takes us too long to harvest, we may look at possibly getting ourselves bigger combines. But I know what some people can say, well, let's get multiple combines. But then it gets to be a hassle of all I'm doing is just running back and forth and emptying the combines. I mean, I suppose I could go into the XML file and change the capacity of the combine. That's also something I could do. But right now, the combine we got is doing exactly what we needed to. One thing that we do need on the farm is another, at least for us, a large tractor. I'll have to see how much, again, that... I think it's the Fendt that I can get exactly a 200 horsepower engine for that. And I think it's a power shift transmission. It's a tractor I used on Dark Forest. You got about 3 to 5 inches of snow. Yeah, yesterday before the storm started, they were saying some locations in my area could get up to about 2 feet in 36 hours. So we're like halfway through the storm currently. And I haven't been out and physically measured the snow. And I really don't care, because the way I look at it is, once it gets to be enough to where I got a snow blow, then after that it doesn't really matter to me. But if I were to guess by looking at it, it looks like we got about a foot of snow just about. So if you're just tuning in today, this field that I'm currently drilling, we bought at the beginning of the stream, which I had sorghum in it. And boy, was it in, free crop, yes, but the field's in bad shape. Needed a lot of lime, soil sampling. Had to get rid of the tram lines. As you can see, we did put lime down, and it needed a lot of lime. And now we're drilling in winter wheat. Pick a gear. There we go. You can change the stats in the XML files in the base game. Yeah, you can change the stats for the base game stuff. The only issue you're going to have is every time the game has a patch or an update, it's going to overwrite those files. But just remember, the combine I'm using is a modded combine. That's not a base game combine. Alright, so this field should not show any tram lines, because it looks like it did plan everything, but yep, no tram lines whatsoever. But it really looks a lot different already with the fence being gone. Sam is loving that field over there. Maybe Sam's trying to tell me something. Sam, I don't think that field over there is a good yielding field, dude. I mean, it's not bad, but it's, you know, it's not the greatest. What is in this field over here I'm eyeing up? Triticale. I don't know if I can use Triticale for anything. How much is that field, by the way? 94,000. Oh, yeah, I understand that, Chris. So I wasn't really trying to compare. I wasn't really trying to say, well, we got a foot of snow. You only got 3 to 5. I was just saying what's going on here weather-wise. Yeah, some areas way down south, if you get an inch of snow, people panic because you're just not used to it. Be the same up here. Like every time it hits 100, well, 90 degrees where I'm at, we're not set up for that kind of stuff. Or 100 degrees. I totally get why people like around the Mason-Dixon line in the south, you get that much snow, people get nervous. It was kind of interesting to see, though, like a lot of people in the southern area, people were showing videos in grocery stores where all the milk, eggs, bread, and all that, everything is wiped clean for a storm that only lasts 24 to 36 hours or whatever. Whereas, like up here, because we're kind of used to it, I actually might be going to the grocery store later on during the storm, and yeah, but that's just the way. This is the way it is when you're used to a certain weather. Used to certain weather. That's right. I was going to put some lime down this field, but I think we'll wait until after we cut the grass. Yes, that's where I want to be. Soil types. Anything? How are we doing on the sampling? That is looking fine. That looks fine. Those look fine. That looks fine. Yeah, I don't think I need to do any soil sampling for a while. Everything is looking good. Oh, yeah, the sale page. I did not look at the sale page. What's in the sale page? Well, a very small tractor, which is what we don't need. Yeah, oh yeah, I remember this now. This, it doesn't do lime. It just does fertilizer. So that kind of sucks. If that did lime, I'd be right on top of it. And this type of trailer, we will need at some point for the eggs. But we're a long ways from the eggs. Is there anything else I want to do this month? I did collect on all the contracts. There is a big paying cultivating contract, but I think we'll just get right into... No, that's a veggie contract. Don't want to do that. That's another veggie contract. Hoeing. Well, I don't have a hoe. Stone picking. Yeah, I really can't do anything with that. So I think we're pretty much all set, and the chickens should be all set. So, yeah, we're good for about 75 months for the amount of food we got in there for the chickens that we have. But that will change. Can you pet the deer? No, you cannot. No, you cannot. Let me just fast forward to the end of the day. We'll check the sale page once again. And nothing's changed. Oh, I did want to see... I think that's actually under medium tractors. Ooh, that's going to be a little bit more expensive than I was hoping it would be. 170. So there's 200 horsepower. That's our limit. 31 miles an hour. What transmission would that have in it? It doesn't say what transmission that would be in it. That's a manual and power shift. Why doesn't it tell you on this tractor here what transmission it is? Alright, so we do got that tractor. What is a 700? 203 horsepower. That is just over our limit, so we can't get that one. What about a 6R series? 192 horsepower, but that's 187,000. What does a Kubota do? 180, 200 horsepower. So a Kubota could go on the farm, but 168,000. So it might be best to... Ooh, what is this? 224. That's too big. What do we got under smaller tractors? A 6M. What does that get up to? It only gets up to 140. 126, 136, 43, 143 horsepower. All right, so I mean, we got some ideas of what's going on there, so I'll have to wait and see. Anywho, let's go to bed. Am I not the trigger? No, apparently not. Let's get triggered. All right, let's check the sale page. All right, well, these two things are still there, and this has been added, and that's not what we want. All right, let's see what we got for contracts out there. So we got a good cultivating contract, but we're going to be mowing our field first, so I need that equipment. Mowing contracts, some good plowing contracts, but we know those take forever. Spraying and weeding. Well, let's go ahead and we'll get started on doing the mowing. Now, last time I did have a worker follow us while we were mowing, but that seemed... because I had to keep stopping and waiting. So I think we're just going to mow and then go back around later and wrap it up. And maybe while we're wrapping up the bales with maybe the 3650, maybe I'll have this Mercedes doing that cultivating contract. Oh, that's right. I can just cut right through here now, can't we? All right, lower that down. We want to do swath mowing. So we got 3 fields to mow, bale, wrap. But we'll get the mowing done and then send the Mercedes on a cultivating contract. Now with the fence gone, I can kind of go into the brush a little bit. Yes, we really haven't been into this corner because of the fence. But now we'll get in here. These fields, at least the 2 grass fields here. Yep, they're going to need some lime, as we know. And then, of course, fertilize next month. Yeah, so earlier on I was talking about doing a poll for the oil mill, but I've been kind of thinking about it as we've been moving along here, and I think I'd rather just buy the oil mill that's on the map. Way more expensive, but we'll be able to make some mustard something or other. So it gives us an opportunity to try some other things, and nothing wrong with the mod that I use, but the thing is I use it quite often, so it'd be nice to switch it on up. Alright, this field is mowed, so move on to the next. But I think this will be the first time I will have mowed all 3 fields in the same cycle when they're at full growth stage. But again, we should get roughly somewhere near $40,000 next month worth of silage. Kind of a foggy and gloomy morning here in October. Need that sun to break through. Yeah, also I got some straw bales to sell. Don't want to forget about those. Those are still on the trailer, but that'll be next month that we'll sell those. The longer we wait on that, the better. All right, now the big grass field. It does make it feel a lot like fall with the morning fog like it is. A little too close to that fence there. This fence we will keep up. No need to remove this fence at all. At least we don't have to water the crops. I'm hoping at some point Giants gets that into the game where moisture content is a thing. I mean, I think we got a lot of the implements that we could use to water stuff. But I mean, we got, you know, adding moisture to the crops is something they could do. Obviously, pesticides with insects and fungus and all that kind of stuff is things they could add to the game in the future. I think over time they may add that stuff in, but we'll see. Is my age a secret? I'm not really keeping a secret, but I kind of find it fun sometimes when people think or try to guess my age. But I think for the most part, people were to guess, if you've been here long enough, you probably would be in the ballpark. It's like the fog may be lifting just a little bit here, or the sun's just getting higher in the horizon. Go back and get this little part of the grass field here. You know what they say, you never want to know too much about your heroes, so the less you know, the better. Do I wear a cape? It's the only thing I am wearing. Actually, I kind of am wearing a cape right now, though. I got a blanket over my my shoulders and my back. Could look like a cape. Well, someone's got to be the oldest, and someone's got to be the youngest. Now let's bring this mower back to the yard. We'll drop it off. We'll hitch up to the big cultivator. And, well, maybe I should look to see if that cultivating job is still there. And we'll send this off to do that job. We'll grab the 3650 John Deere. And we will do the baling. Got a lot of young chickens just roaming around the farmyard now. So obviously the young chicks takes them 6 months to become full grown, and they start laying eggs and start reproducing. All right, is that contract still there for cultivating? 9,000. Yes, it's still there. We'll accept that contract. And that cultivator's over here. All right, let's see. To get there, yes, to get there is, oh, just down this road. Oh, right across from the BGA. Got it. That's the way I would look at it, John. Very well put. It shouldn't take too long for this job to get done. I'm guessing like 25 minutes. I'm going to say 25 minutes for this worker. Okay, the field's a little bit bigger than maybe I thought. So maybe 32. I'm going to say 32. Field settings, 8.2, 4 headlands. Sure. All right, 37 minutes. All right, let's get back to the 3650. Grab the baler and start making some marshmallows. Just hit Z for automatic drop. Yeah, where did Sam go? Sam disappeared out of that field. Oh, I was going to change. Yes, crud. I don't think. All right, 124s. But the first one's going to be a 7,000 liter bale. All right, 124s. Yeah, so the next bale's going to be bigger. Forgot to switch that back. So it should be a 14,000 liter bale now. I do love this mod because it allows you to constantly change the bale size that you want. So if you want a certain amount of work of picking up bales, or how much time you want to be picking up bales, you always have the opportunity to keep adjusting as you go along. And the 3650 is a little bit underpowered for this baler. I mean, once we get moving, it's fine. So probably by the time we get to early spring, which is kind of a ways off because we're just in October, I think we'll see a good pickup of egg production from the chickens at that point. Yeah, I'm trying to find ways to bring in the cash a little bit better on the farm. Obviously, we've been doing a lot of contracts in the series. Until we can build up our farm, we, really can produce a whole bunch of money on our own. Yeah, we'll be selling some eggs probably not until next November. But also these silage bales, now that we got 3 grass fields, it's going to bring us in some decent cash. And they have been. Just got to remember, we just bought that bigger grass field this spring, so it's our first year with it. The 7 million miles on the Cruising Louisiana event. Yeah, that's reachable. So I want to say it's February 8th when that event stops or ends. So plenty of time. Or it seems like plenty of time anyways. Just keep thinking of where I need to spend my money next. And every time I think, all right, well, we'll get a 200 horsepower tractor, the one that's right at our limit. That way we can do more contracts and do, better work around the yard. Then I'm thinking, well, that field I'm looking at, that'd be a good purchase as well. Then I keep thinking, well, should I do a cow barn next? But if I put down a cow barn, that means I got to start feeding the cattle, which means the silage bales we're making money on, won't be making it from there. And now that I kind of want to buy the oil mill that's on the map, that's 300 grand, so that's going to be, it's going to be some work before I can afford that. So I'll probably change my mind 20 times over until we do buy whatever I buy next. It'll probably be something that comes up in the sale page. So yeah, it's going to look like a lot less bales around here because we're doubling the size. Or I should say we're doubling the capacity. The bale looks the same size. But we just went from 7,000 liters to 14,000 liters per bale now. Except for the first one. That's a 7,000. It's almost like lights are going to help me out with as much fog as we got here. And since we're kind of talking about World of Trucks and ATS and such, just a reminder, yes, a video of ATS went out yesterday. Kind of a short trip. Short-ish trip, if you will. And, yep, Schambergo went out earlier today, and there will be an episode on Wednesday that's already been recorded and uploaded. If you're a channel member, of course, you already have access to that. And if you are joining late, I did talk about Sky Harvest earlier. That series is put on hold until the game gets updated or something. It's got a lot of bugs and issues currently. Or either I'm at a point, because I know the game's in early access, I'm either at a point to where that stuff is not included yet. But I'm not too sure. But Sky Harvest is on hold. 41% done with that cultivating contract. All right, one more swath and it's off to the bigger grass field. So removing the trees in between this grass field and the farmyard. Not going to remove any trees until we get some buildings placed down, and then we can figure out where the roads will be going. Still going to go out here where the fence and gate were. And again, further on down the line, if I want the fence to be put back in, it's got to click a button and the fence will go right back in. But for now, it's where it's going to stay. Stay away, basically. Oh, there's Sam. So when November comes around, somewhere by 10 o'clock in the morning, these bales will have fermented. Seemed like that cultivating job got up to 40% rather quickly. It's taken a while to get up to 50%, but it could be the way the course was laid out. Might be doing short passes right now. Yeah, that is correct, Bob. If I put the fence back up, I won't be able to go from the... Well, we still got a way around. But I won't have the shortcut through. I'm just saying if I want to put the fence back up, we have that capability of doing so. It's not... Just want to remind people that on this map, if you remove the fence, you just got to go back to that same trigger and click the button and the fence will go right back up. And yeah, if I'm going to remove a tree or two, I may just use a lumberjack mod and delete the tree completely. I don't want to get too much into doing forestry work here. And I don't count deadwood contracts as forestry work, because really, for the most part, those contracts took me at most like 5 minutes to complete. I know I spent a couple time on other ones because I couldn't find the last tree that was hidden. Yeah, I don't want to be getting a sawmill and doing all that, or greenhouses or anything like that. We're here for... I don't want to be making easy money. Too easy money, I should say. So it's a hard way to phrase that, because some people are going to say, well, you're doing this, or you're doing that, and that's making easy money. Yeah, we don't want to be using anything that I would consider OP, overpowered. Yeah, I'm just thinking on the farm here, I think I want to get that Fent. Just to get another, because, I mean, with the Mercedes doing like the cultivating contract right now, if I want another big tractor to do something else, I don't have one. Nothing against this 3650, but it's a 116 horsepower tractor, so it's not that beefy. What's the price of the Anderson upright bale stacker? I'll show it to you, but it's not. If you're asking from our farm here, it's not going to work. There's an upright stacker for the Anderson? Unless you're talking about this upright stacker, but that's for square bales only. We got round bales. That's why we got this one here, because we got round bales. And I like the way the round bales unload compared to, I don't like the upright stacker at all. The stacks them too high for what we're going to be using them for. I just don't want to get involved with a sawmill at all on this series because we've done sawmills so much. And I really don't want to get into forestry on this map. And again, it's not like we need anything that's that expensive for the farm. We're not buying $500,000 combines for the farm. And once we really get the chickens going and a few more things going on the farm, we won't have to be doing contracts, and the money will be coming in well enough to where we can constantly upgrade things and buy things that we need. And even though I already got like over 40 hours, probably close to 50 hours on this map, it kind of feels like I just started playing on it. Don't think we need the lights on anymore. Yeah, this baler does push this 3650 to its limits. Again, we have upped our capacity of the bales from 7,000 to 14,000, so not going to see as many bales as you have previously in this field. But the yield is going to be, or should be the same. Just less marshmallows, that's all. I think I'm actually going to finish before the cultivating contract gets done. We'll definitely get one more full bale, but I don't think we're going to have enough to get a second full bale. And one more little clump of grass, if you want to call it a clump. It's more like a dusting of grass. But we'll unload the bale. So, yep, by 10:30 in November, all this last bale should be fermented. Yeah, Sam is not really roaming too far from the yard today. Now let's go ahead and we'll start putting these things away here. Should need the mower. Well, I might need the mower, but the baler I will not. Grain trailer, not going to need that. So we'll put that away. And really, that can stay there. I can park the trailer, header trailer with the combine. Let's go ahead and wash this off, though. Again, I got lucky. This is the combine I wanted to use on this series when I started it. And just as we're getting ready to... Well, maybe it was a little bit sooner than I was ready for it, but it came up for sale, and we got it for half off. So all the hours you saw on the combine, that's not hours I put onto it. We didn't have that many to begin with, but we did buy the header and the header trailer as new. At least this header trailer is not articulated. If it was, I'd be in trouble. We'll fold it on up, even though it's wet. Alright, that is the yard picked up. Let's get into the Mercedes and we'll finish up that contract ourselves. It actually looks like the shallow cultivator is even get rid of the tram lines. Even this cultivator does put our Mercedes on its limits. Oh yeah, I was going to check the mini-map to see how many weeds we ended up with in the barley and wheat field. Not that I can do anything about it, I'm just curious to see how many weeds we have. Would be something good to have on the farm, though, is the See and Spot weed sprayer, because those contracts would pay really well. Because with a See and Spot sprayer, obviously you're not going to use that much herbicide. Guessing I'm going to need to do this pass and one more to complete the contract. And complete. All right, let's just get back to the yard and then I'll collect on this contract, and we'll have a look at our barley and wheat field to see how much weeds we have. So who knows, maybe when I sell the silage next month, maybe I can afford even the smallest sprayer. Because not only will I get rid of the weeds, which will increase our yield a little bit in our two fields, it will also increase our environmental score bonus a little bit. And just allows us to be able to do more contracts. And probably the 710 John Deere can handle the smallest sprayer. Ronnie the rooster's hanging out in this shed. Look out, dude. Yeah, he don't care. Alright, we'll look at the mini map because that'll be easier instead of me running in the fields. Let's go to here. Again, I'm only getting weeds like in this part of the field on this one, which is rather weird. And in the other one, yeah, we're not really getting a whole lot compared to like other fields. All that green is weeds. So if I were to check the sale page, okay, nothing there. Sprayers. So I mean, this would be the cheapest one. But of course, I would need to get the weed part of it. That would cost $64,000, which we are, you know, after we sell the silage bales, that would put us very close to being able to buy that. And then we can get some of our money back by doing. Oh, let's collect on that. That helps. If we do spraying contracts, it would pay us like $5,000, and I'd probably use maybe $100 in herbicide at most. Oh yeah, I was going to see, is there a requirement on horsepower for that? No. Doesn't say there is. And it weighs 1.5 tons. I don't know if that's full or empty. I think the 710 would be able to handle that. How much does the 710 weigh? It only weighs 2.3 tons. But I did put front weights. I think I got the 200 kilograms of weights on the front of our 710. 710. Where did I park you at? Yeah, looks like I got all the weights on the front. I think that would be okay. So again, wait, how many chickens are we up to now? But of course, only the adults are laying eggs. We're up to, at 31. And we only got 10 chickens currently laying eggs. 3 more months, these will start laying eggs and start reproducing. And of course, we got Ronnie the rooster. We are up to 230 liters of eggs, which would sell for $301. Lovely. The straw price is going up, which is good. But basically, it's the straw and the grass, which is going to be silage, is all we have. Do I want to do any more contracts this month or just move on? Let's see here. Oh yeah, there was a problem on Kingley with doing some spraying contracts, so I don't know if that issue has been resolved or not. These say it needs a weeder, so I don't know if I can go in there with a sprayer or not. I think I tried that in King Lane and it didn't work. Some good paying plowing contracts, but those would take a while. Harvesting contracts, nothing really there. So let's go ahead and just kind of skip through the rest of the day, I think. All right, the official day is over. Sale page. Roller, which we don't need, and that we don't need, so we're all set. November, we'll wake up at 9. Sound like it's raining, but the forecast says cloudy, so I'll clear up in just a second. Well, there is a big planter, but obviously can't use that. We already got... No, we don't. Sorry, wrong series. We don't have a planter here. I just bought the planter on Chiambergo. So, nothing there. For contracts, a couple of small plowing contracts. There's a mowing contract for $16,000. I think we will send our Mercedes off to mow that. No spring or weeding contracts. There is a cultivating contract over there that pays rather well. All right, so maybe what I'm going to do is mowing contract, accept that one. And also the cultivating contract, accept that one. But we're going to reverse it. We're going to put the Mercedes on the cultivator. Because the 3650 can't handle this cultivator. But it can handle the mower. Now, I'm not sure if the 710 is going to be able to handle the baling trailer that well. Or the bale loader that well, but we're going to give it a try. So we got to wait until at least about 11 o'clock before the silage bales are ready, but we'll be able to pick up the bales in the field, get them off the grass field, and those two small ones I need to put lime down. And they also need to be fertilized. I am going to the right field, I think. Yes, I am. Right here. Alrighty. Temporary course. I think we all know the routine at this point. Field work and just create job. All the settings should be good. And it's probably going to take about 42 minutes to get this field done. Oh, 31, so that's not bad. All right, 3650. And that grass field is over at the shop. Better top this off with some fuel before we head on out. Oops. 135 in fuel. No, the batwing mower can't take care of grown trees. It can get rid of stumps. Now, I think I did try it on Dark Forest. You might be able to glitch it so it can take out a tree, but that's not really what it's there for. But, I mean, if I just want to delete a tree, I'll just use the chainsaw and lumberjack mode and do it that way. But again, I'm not going to do any tree work until we get down the cow barn, the mail factory, and we are a long ways off from being able to do that. Probably at least a couple years before we get the mail factory down. Going by Ben's house. Spent a lot of time at his fishing dock. But no more fishing. Yes, the post office, you just gotta deliver water to it. So the gate for this grass field is over by the shop entrance. We have arrived. I am going to put it just into mowing. This job, I think it's going to take almost 50 minutes, 50 minutes to complete. But that's why it's paying as much as it is. Big field. Yep, almost 52 minutes. But we got enough work to do in our grass fields. You want to close that gate? If I left it there, I think it would run into it on the way back around. The 710, yes. So, want to go sell the straw bales. Ooh, and I think I got to go all the way up to the animal, not the animal factory, but, yeah, what do you call it? Straw up here. Animal dealer. So we're getting 43 out of 46. Oh, wow, that looks... this looks questionable. Well, oddly enough, I thought I was going to be doing a wheelie with this, but... Whoa, what was that? What kind of graphics were that? That was weird. Well, let's see if I can get up to the animal dealer to sell these straw bales. If I remember correctly on hard economy, yeah, the mail, I wasn't getting a whole lot on it, but that, when I was doing that on New Hope, that wasn't really why I was doing it. I was just doing it just to try to be immersive onto the map. But really, it took forever for us to build all the constructible houses that we were trying to do. Even with the sawmill running 24/7. It just took forever. I think we ended up building, what, 4 houses? And we were supposed to deliver the mail to them, which we did a little bit. I didn't really put down the post office to make money. It was more just an interesting thing to try out. I'm kind of concerned about the 710 being able to get uphill with these straw bales. Alright. I know there's a way for me to put the manual transmissions into where I can shift the gears, but since I've never really used it, I don't know what the settings are for it. At least we're getting up the hill. But the thing is, that wasn't the steepest hill. I think this hill coming up is the steepest. See if I can get the top speed and get some momentum going here. See if I could just stay in first gear. No, that's just, that does my direction lights. Chugga, 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 chugga. I think I can, I think I can. Wait a minute, I am going the right way, right? Yes, this way. Sorry, truck. Let me get out of your way. Well, the good news is, though, we're going to make it. I think I just walked right through my bale trailer. Also helps that these bales are not really at full weight either. Oh. That could have been really bad. Nope, not here. Other barn. So, just a little over 5,000 for these bales, I think. Yeah, almost 5,500, so not too bad. But now we get to go mostly downhill back to the grass fields. Just make transmissions on automatic and settings. I mean, I don't mind the manual transmissions because that's what the tractor is meant to be. But I can see why some people would just rather switch it to automatic. But I know there's a way on manual transmissions to where you can shift it and put in the gears that you want. Not a good view with all those trees. So yeah, we're going to have one bale that we're not going to be able to pick up because that's a 122 size bale, not a 124. But we're going to pick up the 124s. This trailer looks so huge when you're hauling it with a 710. Meanwhile, our cultivating contract is already halfway done, and the mowing contract is a quarter of the way done. So along with us selling $40,000 almost in silage later on, should be a pretty good payday here in the next 40 minutes or so. So this field that's right at this corner of the road, that is ours. And we planted some winter wheat there. Looks like it's doing well. ATS manual, FS automatic. It's kind of funny how we all play different games where one game you'll do it one way. So like in Farm Sim, I do a lot of, let's just face it, I do mostly third-person driving. But in ATS, or Euro Truck even for that matter, I cannot drive in third person at all in that game. So it's just these two fields here I want to get the bales off of. The bigger grass field, I can probably do that later on. Once one of our other tractors frees up. So the one on the left, I think that's the smaller bale. Again, they do look the same size by the eye, but the one on the left is a 7,000 liter, the one on the right is a 14,000 liter. And you can't put different size bales on a bale trailer. Alright, so bring this back to the farmyard. We'll grab the spreader and get down the line in these two grass fields. And then fertilizer. The bigger grass field we'll get later on. The 710 got the job done of delivering the straw bales and picking up these bales at least. Again, I probably should just double check, but I don't think those grass fields need to be soil sampled. I know I just checked, but I want to double check again. Oh, wrong one. There. Wait, no, there. There we go. Yeah, they're fine. Wow, this field is really low on lime. When's the last time I put lime down? Too long. Way too long. As I said, Lindsay, you can't... That one bale had to be left there because it's not the same size bales as the other. And you can't put different size bales on the bale trailer. They all got to be the same size. That's a different size bale, so it won't pick it up. Makes you feel like you're drunk driving third-person ATS. So it's not just me then. I thought it was just... I was terrible driving third-person in ATS. I mean, I may still be really bad at it, but... Glad to see the rest of you are kind of saying you don't like driving third-person in that. It's kind of nice to just be able to drive right on through with no fence being there. I do have automatic application rate, right? Yes, I do. All right, one more for this field. May have to get rid of this brush that's there, though. Probably need 2 loads for this field. Well, one thing I haven't done yet today in the stream, and I think I'll do it right now, other than filling up with lime, which we have done. Let's go feed Sam. I mean, last time I fed him must have been September. It is now November. Kind of funny, I said earlier that we don't really use the 710 that often anymore, and I think this is the tractor I use most of today. Alright, hopefully this will be the last load. Yeah, it's definitely a nice upgrade of a Bredal spreader. Because I'll only be able to haul around now 1,200 liters of lime. In the beginning it was fine, because we had like a field. But now, as many fields as we're getting, having a bigger spreader capacity-wise, it's what we need. Not going to have quite enough to get this job done, am I? We're out of the trigger zone. And just as I'm finishing up with the lime spreading, our cultivating contract is complete. Which is perfect timing. But of course, these fields do need to be fertilized. Might as well get that done in these 2 fields at least. And with the fertilizer, I should have more than enough to get the grass fields done. And this is why I lime first. It's much easier to see where you've been with the fertilizer. So, of course, the grass fields, we don't have to cut them again now until April. How we doing on the mowing contract? That's getting close to 60% done. So I'll be pretty near done when we get done selling the silage and taking care of the other large grass field. Just going to fertilize that one. Don't think that one requires lime, but I might be wrong there. Yeah, you can see I'm not using that much fertilizer compared to what we go through with lime. But the good thing is, lime is cheap. Alright, let's go park this in the yard. Go pick up the Mercedes with the cultivator. And yeah, let's collect on that contract. Yeah, so my score is an 80. We got a couple of fields. Well, the new field we bought, that score is terrible. But by next year, that'll be good. So 8,218 for that cultivating contract. Nice piece of income while we were doing the selling of the straw bales and taking care of those 2 grass fields. Sam has wandered back to the yard, but I think that's because we fed him. And Ronnie the Rooster is still in the same spot. Alright, so I'm just going to make sure that all these bales have fermented, and it's kind of an easy way for me to do so. Just going to go into our stock market page, and we shouldn't see any grass on the list. And we don't. We just see silage. I think we should be able to get all these on the trailer. And good, I can grab that one. I was going to have to wiggle my way around there, but we got it on. Pineapple. Pineapple, for me, I don't mind pineapple, but it's not a food that I crave. It's just that when I'm eating something and someone says, oh, there's pineapple. I go, okay. My back is doing a whole lot better, but We'll see how it is after I do some snow removal after the storm passes. But my back is like 95% better. But we'll see what happens when I start moving about a foot of snow. Because we got a little over a foot of snow, I think, right now. And another 5 or 10 inches of snow is still to come. Alright, so just remember, we got one more silage bale to sell after this, but this is the majority of it. Probably be another $35,000, so we should be somewhere around $70,000 in the bank account after we unload this at the BGA. Pineapple cake actually does sound pretty good. Just let the sun thaw it out. That's what we do. You're in flippin' Colorado. That that doesn't happen here. The snow just doesn't evaporate. If I don't take care of it, it'll stay there until we get warm temperatures. And there are no warm temperatures in the near future for where I am at. I think for the next 10 days, we're not going to get above 20 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, that bale did sell. I said 75,000, we were close, or 70,000, so we're up to 73,428. Yeah, the snow just does not evaporate or disappear up here in the Northeast. You're pretty much, I mean, it will eventually, but not like I said, I've been out to Wyoming many times, and I was, the first time I saw, I was amazed, like, you're not going to plow the streets? And they were like, why? Well, it'll be gone in a day. I'm like, it's not going to get warm enough. Next day, the snow's just gone. I'm like, yeah, I can't do that where we're from. Snow's not going to disappear. It'll probably take about a month of this sunny weather, and say it doesn't get above freezing, and maybe the snow would disappear. Alright, we're going back to get that one bale, because I forgot to reset my baler to 124, so that bale's a 122. Look at that, we're back right up to $70,000 after buying a field at the start of the stream. And also that mowing contract, which is almost done. I think that's going to pay us $16,000. So we should be up near $90,000. All right, one little bale. But this should be like, is it going to be $1,000? It will just be, it's going to be close to $1,000, right? Maybe just under. Long process to unload one bale. Yep, just under $1,000. So with the money that we are going to have, we could afford the sprayer. But since there's no like really good spraying contracts, and do I need one per se? Yes, I do, but I'm not in desperate need of it. Maybe just wait and see if we get lucky going through the winter getting one for sale. I already forgot. How much was the... oh, there's a trailer there. Don't need that, though. How much was that Fendt? So if I get the Fendt... and we want it at 31. BKTs. Reverse driving, don't care. Wheel weights, no. Beacon lights. Of course we want beacon lights. Left and right. GPS, no. Exhaust. Just want to see how much this tractor would cost me if I were to deck it all out. Flap exhaust, flap. Probably want to go with that, actually. Fender back. Normal short. Normal long. Faded short. I think normal short. Normal long. Faded short. License plate position. Don't care. Exhaust grid. Kind of like it as black, honestly. Halogen or LED. Reflectors. Front PTO maze grill. Pardon me? Would I want a PTO shaft in the front? Probably not. And then the colors are all fine for the most part. So yeah, just under 90,000 for that. Let's see, how are we doing here? Let's go ahead. I'm going to take over this because it's just about done. And this contract is complete. Let's find our way out of here. All right, and let's collect on that contract. That's going to look nice in the bank account. $16,044. Yes. There we are. We're at 90,000. So technically I have enough money to buy that Fendt, but since we're getting ready to go through the winter months and I'm not going to be doing much work, probably best not to buy anything and just wait until springtime and see where we stand at that point. There's a car behind me that wants to pass, but as we have seen, even with oncoming traffic, when I'm hauling the batwing mower, they come to a stop, and I think there must be some kind of a... They must think the collision is wider than what it is. So I don't think the car behind me is going to try to pass us. I think they see the batwing mower as in the unfolded state. I can hear a car behind me, but pulling over as far as I can. See if I give them enough room to pass. There we go. Put on my direction light so they know I'm turning left. Now let's go ahead and put this mower away. Yeah, I think I'm definitely done with it now for the year. Oh, my direction light is still on. I was like, what's blinking? It's called the direction light. Park that in there. Let's see, what else needs to be put away? The Mercedes needs to be put away. Well, one thing you gotta take in consideration with, like, Mr. Sealy P. I mean, he has a much bigger audience than someone like me, so you can't reply to every comment or question asked or whatever. I don't know if he does lives or not. That's one thing I like about doing the lives is I can read comments that you guys are typing and answer you now. So it's much easier to reply in the live than in comments. There's some comments I don't get to reply to on, they may make it on an old video, and I don't reply because they may be asking a question that I don't remember why I did for the question they're asking. Alright, that's my hut. I live in a hobo hut. I need this hut for the fertilizer. Now let's make quick work of fertilizing this grass field. I remember a couple times went to like Farmer Cop when he was doing live streams of the pre-release of FS25 and just watching his chat scroll along. There's no way I would be able to keep up with reading everything in chat. There have been a couple times in my own live streams where the chat is going pretty quick, and sometimes I have to scroll back up. If someone asks a question, like, oh, you didn't answer, I'm like, I didn't get a chance to read it. And I have to go on my chat screen and scroll up to see what was asked. So, as much as... And Mr. Sealy P is a very helpful person. So I can't see him just ignoring people on purpose. But you just can't reply to everyone either. But see, that's the difference, Branding. I do know everything, so... Kind of. Now, of course I don't know everything. Trouble is, though, I know I've done tests on things, and I forgot my results on my own test that I did months ago. So I have to do them again. Or let you guys tell me. You just figured out the olive shaker? I didn't use the olive shaker in the Shamburgo episode today. I don't have any of that stuff. I think you may be saying, I did talk about, I used it on No Man's Land in FS22 about 3.5 years ago. The only thing I don't remember about it is, but I think it's simpler than what I'm thinking it's going to be, of unloading it from the shaker into a trailer. See, the problem with the people with CRS syndrome, we know what it is. And for the people wondering what that is, then don't worry about it. Yes, we got our thing of lime sitting out here. That's going to have to sit out here because I don't really have a way to move it. I don't think I can slide that, can I? No, not at 850 kilograms. I mean, I might be able to slide up there, but I would probably kill myself doing so. So I think, oh, there's a nice cultivating contract. But okay, that's a corn contract or something. That's way too big. I mean, we got a couple of plowing contracts I could do. No, I don't think I want to do any of those, honestly. So I think we're getting ready to go through the winter months, but I think we're going to do that next time. Actually, I do need to jump out of here because I think I got to do here in about 13 minutes. So it's almost like perfect timing. We'll have to end here, and I think when we start, wait, what's tomorrow? Yeah, I should be streaming tomorrow. Right back here on Pichonniere Valley. We'll pick up right here where we left off. And I think we'll just go through the winter months, see what happens in the sale page. Maybe do a contract or two. We'll have to see what comes up. But we'd like to get to the springtime if we can. But we got some money coming in. It's just a matter of how I want to spend it. And maybe I'll try to think a little bit more of what I do. Maybe the winter months will pretty much guide me of where the money goes. I would not mind buying that Fendt tractor, 200 horsepower Fendt tractor for $90,000, which we got the cash for, or start saving up for a big factory or something. So, Yeah, I don't know. I guess I have to wait and see tomorrow, but I'll put a little more thought into it. But I need to jump out of here. Like I said, I got about 10 minutes to get ready for something else. And yeah, I'll be back tomorrow. But appreciate everyone being here on a Monday start of a wonderful week, I hope. And we'll see if we get there. Just a reminder, episode of Schamberger went out earlier today. And my next episode for Wednesday is already out for members. The rest of you will just have to wait until Wednesday to see what happens. An ATS video went out yesterday as well. So you got those to check up on if you want to. But yeah, I'm going to jump out of here. Appreciate everyone being here for some farming on Pichonniere Valley. I'll be back tomorrow. I don't see why I wouldn't be, but should be back here tomorrow. And yeah, we'll continue on. But enjoy the rest of your Monday. Have a good Tuesday. And hopefully I'll see you all tomorrow. But until then, have a good one.